Man, I can't get over that intro song right there. Man, every time I play that, it fits what's going on right now. It really does. The time has come. Yeah. Anyways,
Power on. Pairing. Connected.
wow, that was weird. Shit. Having some interesting things happen right now. Like, I just sat my phone on top of this Bluetooth device, and it powered on by itself, connected, and then start playing the intro again. Okay, that don't happen every day. Anyways, how is everybody? What we plan to do today is recap all my videos that I've made so far. We're gonna recap it. So bear with me here. Oh yeah, this is gonna be Planned Parenthood has been selling body parts from aborted babies for at least 15 years. That's gonna be another video I'm gonna do. That's gonna be something else I'm gonna do a video on. This is from lifenews.com. But that's for later. let's see, let's see, let's see. Where? There's my bookmarks. Damn. It's not working with me right now. But I guess I accidentally pressed the wrong one. Hmm. I know I bookmarked everything. Why? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm on the wrong. I knew it was either one or the other. I start my stream through Chrome, and I have all my links here on Firefox. So give me a second here. Recently bookmarked. Here we go. Here's all of everything. Okay, my first video was about World War II. You know, everything that I didn't really need to go into describing everything Hitler did. Most of us already know what Hitler did. You know, threw people in boxcars, you know, sent them to death camps. But he killed 11 million people during all that. And what I exposed was who funded who funded Hitler, and which it don't not showing me. It's not showing me. Here we go. Oh, that's not what I wanted. It's not even related to what. Right here. Stop.net. Article 298259. Americans who funded Hitler Nazi Germany. And it says, you know, 1919 to 1924, preparing the grounds for massive American financial investments in Germany economy. You know, second, 1924 to 1929, established control over financial system and funding of the National Socialist Movement. Third, 1929 to 1933, inciting and unleashing a deep economic crisis, ensuring the Nazis would rise to power. And then 1933 to 1939, financial cooperation with the Nazi government and support for its expansionist foreign policy aimed at preparing and unleashing the New World War. Yeah, right there. So America funded Hitler and the genocide that happened with that. Exposed right here. Now let's get on to the next piece. I also talked about 1948, post World War II. And I talked about CERN, how its symbol is a 666. Right here off to the right. Boom, right there, logo. Look at that. 6. There's the first 6. Right there. Another 6. And another 6. There's that. I covered that too. And it's ironic that a hadron collider would have the symbol 666. Granted, it could make a black hole and completely destroy the Earth. And then I got into how World War II connects to real, should I say, more modern of what's going on in nowadays. It's scary. It's scary. I also went over that Obama purchases 30,000 guillotines. Guillotines are made of metal, not wood, metal. And how they have coffins, hundreds of thousands of coffins in locations all over the United States. You will not see them on Google Earth. You will not see the camps that they have for us on Google Earth. But if you watch my other video, you will know that Obama also purchased lots of boxcars, mostly built with shackles in them, to transport people to the camps. And most of the camps have railroad access. All right. And also, I found out in more recent events, social media is going to start rejecting anyone like myself who's exposing the truth that isn't actual. They call it fake news. They call the truth fake news. Funny shit, huh? But here's something I also want to recap on it with everybody. This is Infowars.com. U.S. Army builds fake city in Virginia to practice military occupation. And, you know, you just look at this. Look at this picture. And look what you see, railroad crossing. For a fake city, they sure made sure they spotted out a railroad crossing, which railroad crossings are in 99% of every town. There's a railroad crossing. Most of this towns out there, there's railroad crossings. Going to and from. And we pointed out that there's a manual that describes how this part right here. The manual also describes how prisoners will be processed through temporary internment camps under the guidance of U.S. Army FM 3-19.40 resettlement operations, which outlines how internees would be re-educated into developing an appreciation of U.S. policies while detained in prison camps inside the United States. Fort Hood soldiers are also being taught by their superiors that Christians, Tea Party supporters, anti-abortion activists represents a radical terror threat, mirroring rhetoric backed by the Department of Homeland Security, which frames liberty lovers as domestic extremists. Huh. So, mainly targeting Christians. It's funny how Christians is the first thing. Last year, former Navy SEAL Ben Smith warned that Obama administration is asking top brass in the military if they would be comfortable with disarming U.S. citizens in a test that includes whether they would be prepared to order NCOs to fire on Americans. During a recent Ohio National Guard exercise, Second Amendment proponents were portrayed as domestic terrorists as a part of a mock disaster drill. Interesting. Let me see how all this is playing out. But let's go to more recent news. This is the fun stuff here. Go to this. I exposed today how George Soros and company posted a Craigslist ad paying people to protest and cause chaos in our own country. That's a traitor. That's a traitor. Our own people are turning on us because of money. Because they need money. They're doing that because of the money. They're getting paid to protest. And you know, I'm gonna replay this video because that's not what you want to say. I'm gonna replay this because people need to know. People need to know the truth, and they need to know. Davu 7. Damn ads. Gotta love them, right? No, not really. Okay. 1 second here.
First, there was this promise.
If you like your doctor,
Listen to this ad.
your doctor.
Now we know that's not true, but Obamacare is getting worse.
Insurance premiums on Obamacare exchanges will rise an average of 25%.
There will also be fewer health plans to choose from.
In some states, premiums are increasing 40, 50, even 116%. Insurance companies are leaving, meaning less choice. Tell Congress it's time to repeal and replace Obamacare.
As I've stated before, I feel that at this moment in time in this country, we are under attack
We are
from
under attack.
outside sources. This is something that has been ongoing for some time, but this is the chance for some of you to see it in the open for what it is. I'm going to continue exposing what is happening here to the fullest because it's the truth, it's what's happening, and the more we talk about it, the more we force others to have to acknowledge it. And we've seen that with enough people out here sharing information, like before the RNC and DNC, we can shut down plans for chaos. A lot of people now wanting to see the full connection. You put out video after video, and I just want to simply and quickly show you here that what has happened with the paid protest across this country, not only is it against US Code 18, and I forget all the rest of the numbers, but it's all over here so you guys can research it. 18 US Code 2389. It's recruiting for services against the United States, and it's exactly what George Soros and them are doing. They are paying individuals. They are virtually their employees. And people are like, okay, can we see a full-scale connection? Because some people just, they can't connect the dots all the way. They're not sure what to make of everything. Well, I'm going to make it rather easy here. You see, the Open Society. This is one of the biggest foundations for George Soros. They are responsible for funding all types of events and could be behind what we're going to see with this Disrupt J20 coming up in January, which it looks like Soros and company have their fingerprints all over it, because when you look at the fine print below, all the subgroups that are involved there, a lot of them are the same groups that are backed by Soros's money. So when it comes to Open Society, they directly, and let me go back here and open up the ad. This is the Craigslist ad, and just one of many across the country. But I want you to notice that this is out of Seattle, where their main office is. And who is this? Some people overlook this. Washington can. Okay? Washington can. So they put can, and that in itself has fooled some people from connecting the dots. But I'm going to go ahead and take that step here and show you fully what some people have missed. And you can see they're giving them medical, dental, 401k, paid vacation. How can this be? Some of them $1,500 a week to cause chaos in this country. So Washington can. How can we connect them directly to George Soros in the Open Society? All you have to do is open your eyes. It is there. Because right here, you will see Washington CAN, which stands for the Community Action Network. And if they would have spelled that out there and people would have seen that and then came over here and saw that, they would have connected the pieces quicker. But some people miss this, and it's big time, because this group is directly funded by George Soros. You just seen every piece of it. From this is his group, this is his money that represents him, putting money and funding into this group, Washington CAN, which is the same group that is using that money right there to pay these people to turn against their fellow Americans. This, to me, is an act of treason. Of course, this guy's outside of the country, but he's using Michael Moore, Sharpton, all these other goons to his advantage, the D-Rays, everyone else that's played along with this and gone along with this, they should all be tried in court rather quickly and should be arrested for crimes against humanity, war crimes, and this goes against U.S. Code. I just showed it to you. Is there any good lawyer out there, any good official people that care, that see this going on, that can do something, that want to step up and raise the awareness to what's happening here? We are literally under attack. They're using our own people, and this is how easy it is for them. When they have money and you have a poor working class, same thing they've done to our politicians. They've done money at them. And because people do not hold them accountable, they turn the cheek and they keep on pushing because they know someone else is going to take that seat and that power. So they sell us out. If you do not hold them accountable by taking the heat to them, asking them questions, you can do it peacefully. The power's in your numbers.
Right on.
But if you don't do that, nothing's going to change. with these protests, we see chaos, smashing windows, the same old chaos. If you look at the No DAPL here recently, and what they've done across the country, hardly got any mainstream coverage. Why? Because it was peaceful, good energy. And even they have seen infiltration with groups that have come in there. Okay, because they will try to do this everywhere. But I've seen firsthand and felt the energy from all these different crowds. And what did they do different with the Dakota Access Pipeline? They took it to the federal buildings. They took it to the banks, to the buildings. You see, you're not seeing this happen with this chaotic protest, because all they're meant to do is hit the streets and cause chaos. You see, and effectively just do that, so they can provoke a martial law type of atmosphere for this government to clamp down and tell you all, you have no right to gather in public places no more. It's too dangerous. Can't have it, you see. So people think this is just going to go away. It's not. They are planning to carry this on for the next several weeks. There is the big event going down on Inauguration Day in Washington, D.C. We look to have men on the ground there to cover it. And Soros has admitted himself they plan to attack Trump his first 100 days in office. So for those out there that need visual proof, share this with others. Take the links, show them yourself, connect the dots right there, show them plain as day. This is what's happening. From Soros's money within the open society that's being sent directly to Washington Can, which you just seen directly, in that money directly being sent to their employees that they are recruiting, which is against the code of the.
So there you have it. There's that. What's happening now is just a matter of time.
Battery low.
And
Pairing.
you know, just when we think, you know, things are getting better, they're not. We wish they were getting better,
Battery low.
but they're not. So, yeah, that recaps most of everything going on right now. So far, I believe.
Battery low.
Oh, and there's something else that I need to report on. Because, and this is the ad that I played.
Battery low.
Let me mute it. Sent. Even have plans. 30, 50, 116%.
Battery low.
That I actually agree. That I actually agree. But right here, right now, we're about to expose the whole New Zealand thing. And how they had those recent earthquakes.
We need to communicate with them.
That's a proper introduction.
Another ad.
Battery low.
This is Dabu7. Very important video here in regards to this most recent earthquake, and it raises questions. The specific question as to was this man-made? Reason so many questions are arising to this is because of we have a series of circumstances that are coming together here, and most notably, there is a cache of natural resources that sit in this area specifically. And in one of these areas where the dam gave and where all these people had to be evacuated, and they're labeling some of it a total disaster zone, they're saying that it's going to be uninhabitable and that people are not going to be able to go back into these places to live. It's deemed too dangerous. Now, immediately swooping in are the hawks that are coming in to try to take this land or seize this land, get their hands on this for the natural resources that are there. Now we look at some other curious things that really start to raise some eyebrows, because when the Japan quake happened, there was speculation as to a lot of things that could have went down that had caused the initial quake. And for those out there that think that it's not possible, it is indeed. They've shown it in many different science clips and everything else. They can cause earthquakes simply by putting enough pressure or energy or frequency on the right spot of a fault. Now, you may have also noticed here recently with some of the hurricanes that have come through that you would see odd quakes popping up, and it's because of the pressure put on the plates coming up through that area. They can apply the same thing with different technology. Now, was there anything seen in the area? Just so happens that this almost top secret research vessel that flies the flag of Panama, which is being operated by the Alphabet gangs. And it shows here its last check-in was off the coast of Panama, which it is not. And you can see the image of it here. The Amazon warrior was photographed. It is the world's biggest seismic blasting ship. And it was right off his beach, sitting right on top of where the quake hit. What are the odds of that? And what are the odds that FEMA was in town the week prior, scouting and scoping things out? Something just went down big time with this quake that is still ringing like a bell. Evidence? Well, we see the world's biggest seismic blasting ship, the Amazon Warrior, sitting right over top of where this quake hit. And as soon as it hits, disaster strikes these regions, these people pulled out, and it was sitting off the coast. You want to know why? As he states here, it was hiding from the protesters. Didn't want to have contact with the people in there. It's been allowed in by Energy and Resource Minister Simon Bridges as part of the National Party's deep sea oil gamble. Are you starting to see here? So what are the odds of all this? FEMA in town early, the world's biggest seismic blasting ship sitting there right on top of where this quake went down. And now they're swooping in and taking over all the natural resources. This is where it sits. This is what has happened. And these are the things I've come across here that I think people need to see. More information at these links. You can read up into the ties, all these other links.
Well, there you have it. It was this ship right here that caused the earthquakes in New Zealand. This ship, this blasting ship, seismic blasting ship. It's funny. It's real funny how that played out. But yeah, that's basically all I have for now. I will be doing a Oh, here's something else that I almost forgot about. And as you see, we stand with Standing Rock. This is a peaceful protest going on.
Battery low.
And this is Dabu 7 Underground World News, November 15, 2016. And you were looking at footage that was taken today, downtown Cincinnati, Fountain Square. This was a peaceful gathering, people standing with Standing Rock. And at this point, the different groups that are coming out, just their energy and what they're doing, it speaks volumes. We have seen this anti-Trump movement across the country, and we've seen the chaos that it brings, and these individuals being hired to do the stuff that is happening. I've shown this multiple times. You can see here's one of the Craigslist ads put out there, $15 an hour, Seattle, all connecting back to Open Society, George Soros and company. And this is going to be a shocker for some, and this is a giveaway for who's working with who. Finally, a federal offshoot, Planned Parenthood, controlling community outreach, which is posting Craigslist ads, hiring people for the Stop Trump stuff and the chaos across the country. They too working hand in hand, colluding in this chaos. We also have Google and Facebook talking about restricting and removing fake news sites. Just another form of censorship. And their people will basically sit at the round table and be judge, jury, and executioner on what they deem to be real and not real. How do you like that, folks? For freedom of speech. And what do you think is going to happen anytime anything bombshell is broke and put out there? And they don't want, they're just going to say that it's a lie or whatever and deem it as fake news. And it's already underway. That's why many people have problems and issues with sharing on social media and with Facebook. Here is another picture of this day of action, 200 protests across the country. And what was different about this is with the paid chaos that you see out there, these individuals actually were taking it to the federal buildings. They were taking it to the Army Corps of Engineers licensing building. They were taking it to the front of the banks peacefully, but they were taking it to these places instead of just causing chaos and smashing windows in the streets. Now, this brings me to the other issue here, that all of these events can be infiltrated. This here is a clip and an update from Revolutionary Z front lines up there today. What they did is they blocked off and pinned a whole caravan of these people on a bridge. You can see here, walking by, all the weaponry and filming with cameras. Look at this. Trying to film them right back. Look at all these guys. They caught them on an overpass, blocked them, and started picking people out of the cars. Okay, after they were told that everyone could leave, all the journalists could leave, this is how they do and what's happening up here. Now, another issue is that these events can be easily infiltrated. We've seen it time and time again. It's a normal tactic that's been used for the longest time in terms of them infiltrating groups or protests, sending in their provocateurs. It's happening even up here in certain situations at the pipeline protest. People that live up here reaching out saying that, in the very beginning, there was the obvious peaceful stuff with the people that live there, the tribal leaders being out there leading the pack and all that. And you guys saw some of that footage off of Isha's clips, some of the tribal guys. But when you see people that come in here, they have no connections whatsoever to the tribes. There's a good shot in the rear view and of them going down the street. Both sides had them blocked off. But there's certain groups coming in that have no affiliation with no one, and they are causing some chaos, and they're being seen as provocateurs in instances. And situations like this do not help when Reb and other people in this convoy trying to get through media and cars are stopped and they're picking people off that they see in them and dragging them out. Huge operation here. So, and basically going through anything and everything that they want. You can see a whole mass of them now coming up again here. And this is what happened today up there near one of these sites for Standing Rock. You can see all these officers, and you guys can find more of this over on Revolutionary Z's Facebook page. Make sure to follow him if you guys want the latest stuff, and he may go live here soon again. I'm not sure if I can get a live stream going of Mary. I get enough solid feeds later on, I'll go live, but I want to make sure I have solid feeds. I want to go live and then everybody be down and not sure, but you see them stopping, looking in vehicles, all this, all the way around. I mean, just all kinds of police up here, all over the place. But this is what happened up there on the front lines, and this the other parts of these actions across the country, for the most part, being peaceful situations in cities. And you're not going to hear much about it throughout the mainstream media because, once again, it was peaceful. It wasn't the chaotic stuff that they're pushing because they are colluding with Soros and company. Which brings me to the next thing. They're warning of attacks on big events like Macy's Parade, a huge one. They're saying huge vehicles can be packed with explosives, rammed into people. They're saying not only that, big political events. They are ramping up, and the warning, once again, they have a hashtag, DisruptJ20, which means January 20th, Inauguration Day. They're planning for the biggest staged, and I've got that in quotations, boldly. It is going to be a staged event. They're going to have the biggest, they're aiming for, and they're calling for the biggest staged protest in U.S. history on January 20th in Washington, D.C. It's fitting to be huge, and already 11,000 people saying they're going. How are they going to pull that off? We've seen so many different things. We've been to D.C. several times. There's so many people supposed to go. No one can ever get there because of funding. But bet your ass a lot of these will be there because they're being shipped in by George Soros on the bus. We've already seen it in Houston and other places. They're paying them big money, benefits, 401k, the whole nine. And now they're saying, oh, ISIS might do this, or ISO, whatever they want to call the boogeyman. It's just another offshoot of what they're doing. It's the same hand that's always behind these events. If anything pops off, it is in my belief we are under attack, folks. This country is under attack from outside sources. It's happening right now. People can go back to doing whatever, go into work tomorrow. It's not going to change anything at this point. We are under attack. They're hiring people, our own people, and using them against us. This is what's happening. They infiltrate in anywhere they can get in, basically. All levels. So, some updates here, and, they're talking terrorist threats, this and that crap. This window between now and Inauguration Day, it's been exposed. Soros is trying to attack Trump his first 100 days in office. So not only Inauguration Day, that first 100 days of him being in office, it's in the open. Soros is done saying they're waging war. What don't people get? That this is happening, the puppet's pulling the strings here, causing this chaos in this country. If people don't do something to stop it quick, they're going to cause something where a martial law type of thing is invoked, affecting all of us. So if people don't get off their tail and do anything to try and stop this, it's going to affect you, period. Shout outs to all the people out there fighting the fight and sharing the information out there. And this one, a big one, the fact that we've got this federally backed Planned Parenthood a part of this, posting the ads, just shows how far they will go with this and who is colluding with who. Really, that's huge. It's big time to me. But as I said before, any group, even a peaceful one like this, if you're not standing guard, it can be infiltrated. But when you have people that know one another and that are coming together, and faces are accounted for, it's it could be a different ball game. But when you have a larger group where people can kind of slip in, that's where you can start to see problems. But they're doing it all over the place, infiltrating all over the place. But that's some of the latest. As I always state, I can't stress enough, have a plan. I think some Trump supporters out there think, oh, he won, they can drop their guard and think everything's fine. No, we are under attack. You have an outside source paying and causing havoc in this country, and they are doing it openly. They're not going to stop, and they're planning for a huge one on Inauguration Day. And then after that, the first 100 days that Trump is in office. So any of these false flag events pop off, you should damn well know who's been behind it. All right? That's why I say have a plan. Have a plan. Have a plan. Lights out situation. Where are you going to meet your family? Where are you going to meet your friends? Have a location. You know, have the supplies that you need. I'll be talking more about that in the future as well. You're going to need people. Big time in a crisis situation. Not letting them be your enemy. So I can't stress it enough to have a plan, because I feel things heating up and I feel like we are truly under attack at this point. City by city. We're going to continue to expose these guys. And shout outs to everyone out there that continues to send me information. Everyone that fights the good fight. For those looking to stock up on medicines for a crisis situation, check out our recent sponsor here at the Essential Drug Store. Antibiotics, insulin, things of that nature, heart medicine. It's there if you guys need it. If you guys got anything you want me to get out there, let me know. Dabu7yahoo.com.
So there you have it, folks. Well, that's about it for my recap. Hope everyone's having a good night. Well, good morning. Saving humanity, checking out. Have a plan. Just like Dabu said,